3:45 upcoming then, the feature race from Goodwood. It's the EBS Stallions Cocked Hat Stakes, a listed race for colts and geldings, a Class 1 event over 1 mile, 3 furlongs. First prize of just over £22,500. Raheen House 13-8, Khalidi 7-2, the Grand Vizier at 4-1, Monarch's Glen 5-1, Fierce Impact 8-1, Shyam Kent at 33-1.
Well, back here at Goodwood, we come on to the feature race, the CBF Stallions Cocked Hat Stakes. We're looking at number 3, Steve, Monarch's Glen, who will wear the cheek pieces for the first time today, and he's got the hood on in the preliminaries.
Yeah, they're doing the best to keep him calm, because he certainly can be a little bit fractious. Disappointing favourite in the Sandown Classic Trial last about, where overwatered ground was blamed by connection. So, a bit of a recovery mission today.
Let's go across to the far side of the parade ring and have a look at one or two of the others. Raheen House, I think, is just about leading those up the far side. Horse number 4, the number cloth has blown over, but you'll see Brian Meehan going across to give the leg up to Jamie Spencer, and Raheen House is just about the form pick here.
Definitely ended a 2-year-old campaign with a really good fourth in the Racing Post Trophy, and then split Shutter Speed and Enable at Newburn reappearance. He definitely sets the standards.
Following him, number 6, the Grand Vizier, a €750,000 purchase, and he made the perfect start, winning his maiden at Yarmouth.
He did. He's a good-looking type. He was very game, ultimately, when picking up Fibonacci, got first run on him at maiden Yarmouth. Long way clear of the rest. Step up in class, but a really interesting runner.
Number 1 is the other John Gosden runner in the race. This is Khalidi, who'll be the mount of Frankie Dettori. Now, he picks up a £3 penalty, courtesy of his listed win back in the spring.
Did Frankie have the choice? Don't know. But anyway, he's on Khalidi, not Monarch's Glen. He was a bit disappointing last time. I know Permian's gone on to show the form was pretty good at Newmarket. Nonetheless, he was flat, having started the season in really good style, and this trip should suit.
Now, he's followed by number 2, Fierce Impact. Sheen Murphy just going across to get the leg up, and he was last of 5 in the Classic Trial at Sandown.
1 place behind Monarch's Glen in that race. That was his first run of the season. He was keeping on that day in the style of horse you might appreciate a bit further.
And the field completed by number 5, Shim Kent. Harry Bentley's looking for a Goodwood double. This is altogether a very different task, however, Steve, compared to a big prize success in a maiden at Wetherby.
Yeah, stiff arse, you'd think. It's a big improvement on his debut, and he won in game fashion at Wetherby. Can't fault his attitude, but more is needed here.
Runners then making their way out onto the track for the listed Cocked Hat Stakes. And Raheen House, who's left of shot, Jamie Spencer in the green and pink silks, remains the 13-8 market leader. And the form of his reappearance second at Newbury could hardly have worked out better, Steve. And here it is. Middle of last month, and he's splitting 2 subsequent Oaks trial winners.
Absolutely. If the full confirmation of what he's shown as a 2-year-old, which was good form to be fourth in the Racing Post Trophy. He travelled well here, but he was picked off by Shutter Speed for pace late on, and right at the finish, maybe Enable is slightly closing the pair down. But they're 2 good horses, basically. No disgrace. He's giving weight away as well. Fillies to 2 fillies, and this form here, and what he showed in the Racing Trophy, is the best form on offer without question.
And what of tactics in today's race? Because from what we've seen of Raheen House so far, he tends to track the pace. Now, are we expecting that pace to be set by Monarch's Glen? In his case, presumably the cheek pieces go on today in an effort just to try and harness some of his natural exuberance in the early part of a race.
It's a hard one to say. In answer to your question about what do you expect, as you say, you've already pointed out how Raheen House has been ridden. Khalidi in his races has been ridden from behind. We don't know enough about the Grand Vizier yet. On his first run, he picked off the Fibonacci late on. Fierce Impact in the race at Sandown was held up. And again, we don't really know enough about what Shim Kent will want. So I don't know his answer
to complete the lineup. Moves into line now. They're in the gate. And they're off. And they race over 1 mile and 3 in the EBF Stallions Cocked Hat Stakes, and very slow to begin was Fierce Impact, who had to be rousted away from the gate by Oisin Murphy. And the early pace here is from Shime Kent, and he's taken on by Monarch's Glen around his outside. And Monarch's Glen at the end of the first furlong now moves on and takes a clear lead in the hands of Robert Tart. So it is Monarch's Glen freewheeling clear by 3 to Shime Kent racing in second. 2.5 lengths away, Raheen House is back in third, nicely settled. A further length and a half, the Grand Vizier is racing in fourth. Khalidi is in fifth, and having broken very slowly, Fierce Impact is last, the sixth, and now he is fully 10 lengths off the leader, who bowls on down the hill and on towards the intersection of the courses, and that is Monarch's Glen, and he's out in front and clear sailing now as he goes through the intersection. The lead has opened up to 8 lengths. In second is Shime Kent. On that one's outside races Raheen House, he's racing in third. Khalidi on the inside has now taken fourth position. The Grand Vizier is in fifth, and still Fierce Impact is at the back of the field. They go through halfway in the 47th running of the Cocked Hat Stakes, and it is still Monarch's Glen bidding to give John Gosden his 4th win in the race, and he's clear by 8 lengths to Shime Kent, and now he's been joined by Raheen House on his outside. Now Khalidi in 4th is ridden along. The Grand Vizier in 5th is being ridden along. Fierce Impact in 6th is also now coming under pressure. He's kicked off the turn here on Monarch's Glen and cries, "Catch me if you can." He's still clear by 7. In second, Raheen House down the outside of Shime Kent. Swinging wide now is Khalidi. Sticking to the inside, Fierce Impact, and still at the back is the Grand Vizier as they race inside the final quarter mile. And Monarch's Glen now is paddling, and it's his stablemate Khalidi and Frankie Dettori, who just had to come off heels, but now Khalidi has taken the lead for Frankie. He's gone on now clear by 2 to Monarch's Glen in second. Raheen House is in third. He's now been joined on the inside by Fierce Impact, but as they race up towards the line, it will be a 4th win in the race for both John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. Khalidi takes the Cocked Hat Stakes, staying on a Fierce Impact, followed by Raheen House and the long-time leader Monarch's Glen.
Khalidi has given weight to his rivals and given them a beating in the Cocked Hat Stakes. Frankie Dettori and John Gosden, who've already enjoyed a fantastic spring, have bagged another valuable prize here.
Explain away his defeat, he wouldn't have won at a mile and a quarter. Well, I also don't think he was. I think he was running on empty in the final furlong.
Yes.
I suspect a mile and a quarter will be his maximum.
Yeah, he loses out, of course, on second place in the end to Qatar's Fierce Impact, who'd been last of 5 in the Classic trial. He'd won his maiden with cut in the ground. He seems to have handled slightly quicker conditions today.
Definitely, and he is going to be suited by a mile and a half and a little bit further, I think. Deeply back the sire, he's got stamina on the other side of his family as well, and I think he will be running over a mile and a half plus. But you know, will the winner go to the King Edward or somewhere? I mean, that's a good performance, giving weight away.
Exactly, yeah, carrying a £3 penalty for his listed success. You would think that something like the King Edward, the 7th Stakes, is the obvious target.
You go there with a, pretty reasonable chance, and it is a franking, as you say, for Permian. You could argue in a weird way it's a franking for stable companion Cracksman, who they presumably think is a fair bit better.
Khalidi took the feature at 100 to 30. Frankie Dettori and John Gosden. Fierce Impact was second at 10 to 1, and all 6 ran in the Cocked Hat. And the time was 2:22.77, a course record.